Alrighty, y'all. We're going to get it rolling. Skywalking with Wetz. We got Jaden Stanley-Williams on for the second time. Well, the first time with this one, you were with Skywalking with Wetz and Hef. We lost a soldier, but that's okay.
It's all right.
We're going to get it rolling. You're playing, Jaden's over playing in Portugal. How do you pronounce it? Is it Galitos?
Yeah, Galitos, but they like, in their language, it's like Galich.
Galich.
It's like
okay.
Galich, yeah, like Galich. Like their OS is like a ch. It's like ch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, I was doing a little research on that last night, and I was like, hopefully it's Galitos or Galichos.
Yeah, Galitos, definitely.
Is it Pro Liga?
Yeah, Pro Liga.
Pro Liga,
It's
cool.
it's like the second division.
Cool. We got Janley. He's playing in Galitos Pro Liga over in Portugal, man. Second time he's been on. We told him we'd get him back on to get a check-in going. He's mid-season, so we appreciate him coming on. What time is it right now? About 6, 7?
Yeah, it's 7:00.
Yep. Last time he came on, shit, it was like, what, 1, 2?
Yeah, and I was in Georgia, I think.
Oh, you were in Georgia. Okay.
I was in Georgia, so it wasn't terrible.
That's right. You were just about to get down there. That's right.
Yeah, I was getting ready to leave.
Yep. Yeah, we got Jaden back on. We got to pick his brain, see how things are going. So you've been out there for how long now? You've been kind of just...
Yeah, man. I've been out here since September? Yeah, September 4th is when I left. So I've been out here for some time. I'm about to leave. I got like another month and a half.
Ooh.
So, man, I did a bit out here, bro. It's been a long time. I've been out here a long time, fam.
Probably went by fast. Been going by fast too, huh?
Yeah. Looking back on it, it definitely went by fast, bro. Like, just like when I first got here, I would say the first month went by really slow because I was just trying to get into things and I was really just missing my family. Mm-hmm. And then when I rolled my ankle at the beginning of the season and time went by really slow and I couldn't play. Like, it was like terrible, bro. But then after that, like, it just kind of was a blur. Like, I'm right here. Like, we here in March now, and it's crazy how fast that went by. Like, I didn't expect the season to, you know how basketball seasons are, when you're playing. It's like, you have the doldrums, you'll have some days where it's just like, it just seems like it won't end. And then you wake up one day and you're almost done. And it's like, damn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What happened at the time? Yeah.
What'd you do? How'd you roll your ankle?
I went up to block somebody, bro, and like I just came down on his foot wrong, and I just rolled the shit out of my ankle, fam. And it hurt so bad. Like, rolling your ankle is like one of the worst things for basketball, bro. Like, that's like one of the worst pains. Cause like, man, that next day I couldn't even walk. Like, I couldn't walk, and they wanted me to come to treatment. I'm like, bro, I don't even want to get out of bed. Like,
you can't put any weight on it.
Yeah, you can't put no weight on it, fam. And it's just like, fuck.
Oh, bro, that's terrible. How long were you out with that? Because I rolled the piss out of my first, like, one of my first games my freshman year, bro. Same thing. Went up to get a rebound or block the dude, and I came down on his foot.
Yeah,
I was out like 3 months, bro. I was out for a long time.
It's a long time. It's a really long time, and that's what makes it so annoying. Is like, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like one of them injuries that you can really nurse back to 100%. Like, you got to let it heal on its own, bro. And I was out for like a month, and even when I came back, I wasn't 100%. Like, but I could not play anymore. Like, I had to. It was like, for me, like basketball is one of those things. It's like my release, and like I was like, man, I'll just pop some ibuprofen and get out there and play. And that's what I was doing for about like a couple weeks after that month that I was out. And now thankfully, like, I would say my ankles are like 90-95%. It's not at 100, but that's just the name of the game. You'll never be at 100% playing this game, man. So you just got to get used to it.
No, man, pop the ibuprofen, some Advil, you know, ice, like the ankle, bro. That it's such a process. Like, that like you said, I would rather, sprain my elbow or something than my ankle, dog.
Right.
Because when I first did that, bro, it was no weight on it. I was crutching everywhere. Like I had to stand in the shower like with one foot.
Yeah.
and it never comes back the same. Like my ankle, my foot's never been the same. I ended up getting like tarsal tunnel, like all this stuff from just like inflammation, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah,
How
sucks.
how'd they get you back with that? What they have you doing?
So they kind of did things really different than I would say college. So like I would go through this physiotherapist, and so just they would do the basics. They would, I would go into training every day, and they would like rub it and then like heat it up, and then I would start doing basic like ankle exercises and stuff like that. And then, they did a lot of different things that I wasn't used to. Like they were strengthening like my hips and my base, like outside of just my ankle, which I never really looked into the science behind that until the guy broke it down. He's like, well, your ankle is really weak right now, but if we can so basically like this right here, like
Yep.
this whole thing, like he's like, if we could strengthen this whole thing right here, he's like, we're gonna try to do our best to do that, so that way when you do come back and your ankle is like ready to, start absorbing impact, the rest of your body is ready to go. Like we don't want no what's the word, muscular imbalances going on.
Don't get me started, bro. So I've had hip surgery on the same side I busted my ankle, and I never had like any hip problems. So like hearing that's dope. That's really good, bro. Because when you come back weak and your ankle's weak, everything starts to compensate. You put more weight, more pressure on that right side, that quad, that calf, the Achilles, the hip.
Yeah.
And
man,
that's dope. I'm happy they did that for you, because when I had my surgery, they, my PT and stuff, they talk about like, well, what injuries have you had before? Da 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 da. I was like, well, I busted my ankle, and that was basically it. She's like, I guarantee you, this is probably somehow down the road, like just from absorbing too much than it could handle. It wasn't strong enough, And
yeah, damn.
It's good. I'm happy they did that for you, because that's huge. People don't realize that sometimes when they get injuries. Like they don't understand like everything starts to compensate, and it all kind of starts like in that hip and like core. If you have a really strong core and really strong hips, you're gonna be solid.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of people, especially me when I was younger, took stuff like that for granted, bro. Like I hated working core. I didn't really understand the necessity of like, my hips being open, my hips being loose. And, just this year and like my senior year of college, I had just gotten into a lot of mobility. And, I watch a lot of Victor Wembanyama pre-workouts. Like a lot of the odd stuff that he does, a lot of the shit that he does is so good for your body, and it's so good to warm up. Like, I don't know if you remember when there was a clip that went viral of him rolling his ankle and he just popped right back up.
Yep.
Like he stepped wrong, rolled his ankle, and a lot of players, they would be out, a month, something like that. But he just popped right back up. So, watching that, I was like, all right, he did something right. Like he's doing something right. Whatever his trainers got him doing, maybe I should invest in it. And it's helped out a lot. I wake up in the mornings now. I'm not as sore. Like I'm still sore, but I'm not as sore. Yep. I'm able to get into work a lot easier. So, just really taking care of my body and investing in stuff like that. Like the core, that core in your hips, man, that trunk right there.
Yeah.
That shit's important, bro. You got to that's top tier.
Yep. 100%. And that was like when I was in my PT for my hip, that was like the main thing we worked was like hip mobility and like core strength. And it went such a long way. The one thing I do miss, and I wonder what it's like for you, is I miss having like my PT, because I'd go in and she would like have the tools and stuff to like stretch my hip out in the certain areas that it's really hard to get by yourself. How's that? Do they have a pretty good staff over there for like, do you do a lot of like PT and stuff like outside of your injury?
Yeah. So we got three main guys that are with us all the time. There's Tomas, Gino, and then it's like Pedro. It's hard for me to pronounce, but like the way they pronounce it. But all three of them are really good guys. Like they're really good guys, and I love working with them. And they really take the time to not just not just treat your injury, but treat you as a person. So like, I can go to Gino, I can text Gino and like, hey, like I need some in season work. Like I need something to do that's gonna maintain my strength and maintain my body and not break it down while I'm in season. And he'll be like, all right, come in and we'll do this and we'll work. And even before practice, he'll do things with the whole team. So working with them guys is definitely good because they are pretty good dudes and they know what they're talking about. So I trust them.
Yeah, I miss that, man. I miss that. Going out, getting stretched. They do
Yeah.
all the mobility, ice baths, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. Especially when so like I'll go in and I'll get like my ankle rubbed. Like I'll get my ankle rubbed down, bro. And and that shit just feels so good. Like that shit feels so good, bro. Like,
oh yeah.
Both ankles.
Get it rubbed down. I used to do a thing called mobs where they'd like pull on it, stretch it both ways, and then you just feel great. Feel great.
Yeah.
But the hard thing, you don't got to worry about this now, but the hard thing is maintaining all that when you don't have those resources, bro. It's like maintaining all that. Like I'm having to I took it for granted because it was like, oh yeah, it's just kind of part of the gig. Like we got to train it for our team, but like that is such a great resource to have no matter what capacity that trader serves in. Because when you don't have that anymore, you're like, damn, I don't have any of that no more. I got to do it all by myself. I'm on YouTube trying to find whatever I can possibly do. And it kind of.
Yeah, no, I can, I can't really I can't relate, but I get where you're coming from because, bro, that it is hard to maintain your body. It is hard to keep up with it and know what you're doing is right for it, and to have people around you that just basically take up that part for you and you don't have to worry about it is a blessing, bro. For sure.
Yeah, that's sick. Do you have a lot of American teammates on your team? Are there how many Americans over there? Or are they from all over the world?
Nah. So yeah, we have one American on our team, so two Americans, just me and him. And that's typical for our league. They usually only have two imports.
Yep.
And they can be from anywhere in the world, but for this league, I would say the imports are usually from Canada, America, or really Angola.
Okay.
Angola or Cape Verde, that area, it's so their imports just kind of from all over the world, but this league, most teams can only have 2 or 3 imports. You can't have too many. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. I forget about that with that overseas ball, man. They like to try and keep it within the country or within the region, and there's there's rules around that, right? You can only have so many imports.
Yeah, you can only have so many imports, and that's why right now I'm kind of in the process of getting it's a special type of passport, and what it does is it basically it's a traveling passport, and it would allow me to be a citizen of whatever country I'm in, I guess. And it's a little bit of bread. It costs a little bit of bread, and that's why I say I'm in the process of it. But
yeah,
if I get that, it would just make me so much more valuable to these teams because then I wouldn't count as an import. They could just bring me in, and then they can bring in 2 other imports. So that's what I'm trying to work on getting right now. It's just like a loophole in the system.
That's so interesting. So does that something your agent does for you? Or kind of helps you guys?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. You have resources like that, someone that could kind of help guide you through that, because that is valuable. And so I guess my question around that is what is the system over there for basketball? We have high school, college. What is their system? Because I know the Euro leagues and the overseas stuff's a completely different ball game than over here.
Yeah, bro. So really how big so you know how the pipeline for basketball is, you elementary, middle school, high school, college, and then pros if you make it that far. Here they don't really have an emphasis on school ball, bro. Kids get into clubs, and ours is a club. We have the masters team, which is the old guys. So they have an older team, those guys are 40 plus. And then you have us, which is we're the pro league team. So we're the premier team for our club, and then you have like a U18, U17, 16, 15, all the way down like to like 7. And there are different clubs all over. And I can't really speak for other countries, but I know with Portugal, there are like different clubs, and that's how and they're like clubs you want to play for. Like how there were just certain AAU teams that you would want to be on. Like there's certain clubs that you want to play for. Like they got a club out here, FC Porto. That's like a big soccer club, man. And their basketball team is really nice because because of their soccer being so big, they can give their basketball players a lot of money. So they pick up really good players. Like they have a point guard named Cat Barber, and he was a big name in America a couple years back. And the dude is nice, but they'll pick up a lot of good dudes. Like them, Benfica, other leagues. We don't really have like a premier like first league team,
right?
But it is what it is.
Probably something they're probably working towards, though.
Yeah, had we won more games, because we didn't have too great of a year. So what we're in right now is we're in the second phase, and usually in the second phase you can work to that promotional phase, and that's like, and if you win enough games in the promotional phase, your team will get bumped up to the first league. But if you keep losing and you keep losing, you're gonna drop down. You're gonna drop down in leagues. So right now we're basically just fighting to stay in second league. Like we don't have a chance to get to the first league, and we don't want to drop to the third league. Yeah. So we're just fighting to stay in second.
Because it's probably less money too, right? They probably get less money or less like salary cap or whatever it is if they don't make it to the next league or you get demoted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's so interesting because my boy Z, he's out in Germany, and it's the same thing. They made it up to the first league, I think. Either made it up to first or second league, and they're just trying to stay there and maintain, because it's like bottom. I don't know what it's for you. I think for him it's like bottom 2 or 3 bump down, and next 2 or 3 bump up.
It's exactly how it is.
But yeah, it overseas is so sick. So there's been like, I don't know, bro. I don't know who I'm questioning here, bro. You know how, like, one thing I've seen a lot, and have you noticed the difference in terms of like fundamental play over there compared to maybe what you saw over here, like from running plays or to playing off 2 feet, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can. It's definitely a different type of ball game, bro. Like it's more, honestly, it's more pure basketball. I will say that it's more pure basketball out here. Like making the extra pass, ball movement, you know, like there's some crazy passers like in this world. Like there are some good point guards in America, but man, there are some passers in this world, bro. Like there are some people that can dish the piss out the ball, like throwing it, like do it behind the back through somebody's legs and then hit a dude running in transition, like going full speed. And you're just like, damn, how the hell, bro?
Yeah.
Like, how did you even get that through? How did you thread that needle? So the fundamentals of the game out here they're more tight, I will say that. But there is a skill gap. There's a reason they call for Americans to come, come play over here. There's definitely a skill gap. But I'm not knocking the players out here, because there are some hoopers. There's hoopers everywhere. But, like, it's a different type of game out here. Like, they emphasize, like, at the beginning of the season, man, I was shot happy. Like, bad, bro. Like, I was 2 seconds in the shot clock. If I see the rim, I'm shooting it. And I had to fall into the system and learn, like, okay, like my role on the team is to score the ball. So even if I give the ball up, they're going to get it back to me eventually. So I just making the extra pass and seeing the open man and passing out of a double team instead of forcing a shot. Like, it's helped me see the game a lot more than what I was just seeing, because I had such a tunnel vision of just putting the ball in the basket. Like now I can hit my man in the corner and know that he's going to make the right play, whether he's going to shoot it or pass it, and eventually I will get the ball back. So I will say, like, the fundamentals of the game is different out here. Like, America, I feel like American basketball kind of has been pissing me off lately, because, I go to watch like younger kids play and it's all one-on-one, and kids want to be like Steph, and kids want to be like, just hoop. They don't want to play basketball. They want to highlight. They don't want to win. They want to look good. And out here, like, winning is, they take this shit serious, bro. Like, winning is, if you're not winning, like, you could average 40 points. If you're not winning, they'll send your ass home. Like, so
Yep.
That's what I respect about it out here.
Yeah, well, you look at all like the PGs who came and played in the league or even college that came over from overseas, bro. They're passing gods, man. Like their
Yeah,
IQ
like
offensively is insane.
like Ricky Rubio.
I
Like
was about to
that's a
say
prime
Ricky Rubio.
that's a prime example, bro. He's a fucking magician with the ball, bro. Like, and there's so many guys like that out here. There's one dude, I forget his name. He's got a really hard, difficult name, but he plays in the EuroLeague, man, and he's just a magician. Like when it comes to passing, like he's doing all that shit you see Luka doing, and he's
Yeah.
just
What's his name, bro? Is this? It's like his. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
yeah. It's like a really hard. It's like starts with a P, but like he's like a short. He looks like a Spaniard, honestly, but man,
Yeah,
he is just nice.
dude, dogs, man. And, like you got guys like Ginobili, Rubio,
Man,
Doncic,
yeah,
Jokic. Just like all
plenty of
those
players.
like their fundamental game's insane. You know, they might not be as
Mm-hmm.
flat. Well, they're flashy, but you know, that's why I wonder because like people are getting kind of. Kawhi Leonard said during like the All-Star weekend, he was like the fundamentals are already out of the game, and I think he was kind of
Mm-hmm.
talking more over here because, like you said, you're watching some younger kids out here, and it's a lot. You see a lot of one-on-one, you see a lot of ball like that, and for a lot of like that's probably why like the older generations kind of get a little pissed off watching the game today because it's like completely different,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
ISO ball, and I think I attribute that too with how talented players are,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the league. Sometimes like it might look like they're just running ISO ball, but I think it's a little more complex than that. Like you want to get your
Oh yeah.
bucket getter a bucket, but I mean you can only run a 2-3 zone in the league or in college for so long till dudes start picking it apart. And you can only
Oh yeah.
run so many defensive schemes until they start picking it apart. So maybe the best thing to do is just match up, switch everything, do all that. But like back in the day, you know, like the 90s, 80s, even early 2000s, like there was a lot more emphasis on the team ball. And like
Yeah.
overseas, they make that extra pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll hit the open guy. Over here, you see a lot of force stuff and a lot of ISO.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, bro, it's better. Like teams will start picking apart 2 3s and stuff, and like even out here, like so like in America, I would say the biggest difference is there will always be that guy on the team. Like let's take Shea SGA for example, man. Like he's one of the best hoopers in the league
Tough.
right now. Like if you give him any type of defensive matchup, like a 2 3 or a man to man, he's gonna tear it up. He's gonna pick it apart, and you're not really gonna see too many of those caliber players like out here. Now, I'm not saying there isn't any out here, but you're not gonna see like a LeBron or like a Kevin Durant or something because they're gonna be in the league, right? They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be in the NBA if they're that caliber of player.
Mm-hmm.
So out here, they kind of have to make an emphasis on this team ball because they don't have a guy that can just go get 40 real quick off dunks and then
Mm-hmm.
shooting deep tray balls and stuff like that. And if they do, like I said, he's probably going to be in the NBA. He's in the league. So
Yep.
yeah, it's a different game, bro. But I like it. I enjoy watching basketball out here because they don't play
Yep.
out here, man.
And probably the development emphasis has changed so much over here. You know, there's a lot of emphasis on, you know, your handles, the bag you got. Kids are hitting. You're
Mm-hmm.
working on that step back a lot more. You're working on that Euro step floater, change of pace. Like it was crazy. Like this last maybe like 10 years, you've seen a lot of that blow up. And
Oh yeah,
I don't want to get fact checked on this, but like I attribute a lot of that to dudes like James Harden. When he was
oh
like in those Rocket days, bro, when he was in that bag, he was hitting the step back, he was hitting it was like James Harden, who else? Who else just had that deep, deep, deep bag, man? Kyrie. He's like Kyrie, bro. Like dudes like
Paul
that.
George.
Paul George, exactly. Like they can do anything with the ball,
Yeah,
man, and they'll pick apart a defense. And over there, like you hear like those Euro players talk, they're like, yeah, we just learned how to play like really fundamental basketball. Not they
oh
probably
yeah,
did work on that skill development, but it all starts with like the basic fundamentals. And I see trainers, man, like they're putting little kids through like that super like elite workout where it's
yeah.
like I had kids on my team that didn't even know how to jump stop, but they wanted to try and hit step backs. And I'm like, dog, you got like it's hard to explain. Like you got to start from the very basics, and once you get that, that's when you can start kind of getting a little deeper.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. But at the same time, I do I don't, but I do like basketball, like how the skill of the game has increased
Yep.
exponentially in the past 10 years. Thanks to guys like that. Like, you know, you got kids at 7 years old doing stuff that I couldn't even do when I was 15. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I remember I was at this camp and there was this kid hitting step backs, doing euros, and he hit a kid, went behind the back, pick up, left hand lay. And I didn't even know how to use my left hand. I didn't even know how to use my left hand when I was young. Like, so just watching these kids hoop is great. Is great. Yeah, it's crazy. They know all this stuff, but like you said, you tell them to do a basic jump stop. They're like, what? Like, why would I do why would I do that? Why would I do a jump stop? Like, and so like, yeah, like over here, like they got the fundamentals. Like they got the fundamentals down to a T. Like, like you have to, because man, I've been checked so many times out here on my fundamentals because I travel a lot, bro.
Really?
Like I didn't realize how much I traveled for real until I came here. And like, I'm like, dude, like, why is this a travel? They never called this in America. And they're like, yeah, they really emphasize, like, so like my I get a lot of travels on my like pump fake and trying to rip through, and I'll pick up my back foot before I put down that dribble.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to get that motion where you step and dribble at the same time and still keep your explosion.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on lately, bro. And it's just kind of it's really been fucking with me, honestly. It's been pissing me off because I'll have a wide open lane, I'll pump, try to get past the guy, and I'll hear, and I'm like, damn, bro, I didn't even travel. Like, and then like my teammates will be like, no, you traveled, bro. Like you traveled. I'm like, all right.
Well, that's it too. You know, my grandpa Kenny G's, man, that was his thing. That exact move was his thing. Because yeah, like it's hard to keep that explosion with keeping that bat foot down, because that's where you get your little like you get that space creation off of that, right?
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really hard because dudes want to like jab step, and then they have to use that foot they jab stepped with to come across and then go, you know, but they want to jab step, pick up the back foot, and then go, and then it's a thravel. But it's all about, you know, like, as you know, it's just something to continue to work on, man. And it's tough because, like you said, they're pretty lenient over here. You know what I mean? They're very lenient, especially like when you watch the league. I'm like, dude's traveling all the time.
Carry.
Yeah, they just don't call it. Like, there's so many carries, especially when dudes are coming across doing like this stuff. Like when I was growing up, that's a carry every single time.
That's a carry.
Yep.
And the fouls, I'll say too, bro. They play a lot more aggressive out here too, man. Like it's damn near war. Like my first couple games, I remember like, not for real. Like I remember my first couple games. Like, so here you're allowed when somebody's cutting, you're allowed to like bump them. Like you're allowed to like give them one of these. Like, no, you can't cut. Like if you're gonna cut, you better come through my chest.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that. Like I had to learn to really go through people because they're allowed to bump you off of your spot. And like in America, like if somebody's cutting and you know you give them a fucking shoulder to the chest and they fall, that's a foul.
Yeah.
But like here, they're not gonna call that. They can do that. And our coach tells us, they're like, man, give him a bump his ass. Don't let him cut. I'm like, are you sure it's not a foul? And they're like, that's not a foul. You can do that here.
I love
me being
that.
American, bro. I love it. Honestly, I've grown accustomed to it. It forces people to play basketball. It forces people to just play defense and really have to go get a bucket, bro. Like I have to go get a bucket here because I don't get foul calls, bro. Like I don't get foul calls at all. Like I will go get murdered. Like I will go to the rim and get murdered, fall to the ground, and I'll look at the ref like, bro, like you gonna call that? And he'll just look at me like I'm dumb. Like, and this is just an American thing, bro. Like they're not gonna give you no call. Like that's just what it is. But they'll give us some OG who's been in the league for like 10 years, LeBron call. You know what I'm saying? Like bro won't even get touched, and now he's at the line. It's like, all right, bro, whatever. You just get used to it, play through it.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Is it an American thing? Because I've heard that as well. Like Americans don't always get the calls, but they probably give the calls to the guys that they're, you know, familiar with, or I don't know if you'd call them the face of the league, but they're like the OGs of the league.
Yeah, for sure. They'll give the calls to the people they want to give a call to, but like me, sure, I ain't getting no call, bro.
Gotta earn that. Gotta earn it.
No, I I have to earn it, and I have to really sell it if I want to call. Like even if you hear if you hear the smack, it's not enough. I have to like, hey, like really give them one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's tough. It's tough, but
No,
like
it
it's
is
forced me to
tough.
get stronger. Like I love it now because like I know when I come back to America, like like playing through contact won't be nothing. Like playing through contact will be straight. Like I'll be good. Like I'll fight through
Oh
that. I can
yeah.
play through the contact, man. They were killing me. They were killing me in Portugal. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm used
Hey,
to this.
and that's the other thing. So I was listening to so Scottie Pippen, what's it called? The NBL over in Australia? Is it the NBL?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he went
Mhm.
out there and spoke at like their awards thing, and it was like him, Luke Longley, and Horace Grant. I think
Mhm.
Luke Longley like runs the league or is one of the head guys over there because he's from there. They're all
Yeah.
Bulls guys. They're kind of I don't know if you saw this. They're doing like there's a Last Dance documentary, so now they're doing like the no bullshit documentary, so they could tell their side of everything, I guess. But
Oh no, I never heard of that.
yeah,
That's
get your
dope.
popcorn ready. I'm excited to see what happened
Yeah,
there.
I'm excited.
Uh,
That's dope.
um, but they were talking about like how they have an emphasis on like physicality in the league. They want that league to be physical because that's kind of like
Yeah.
the type of ball like they grew up playing. But like the game, like it's like this last 10 years, man. I swear, it's just so floppy and it's so everyone's getting a whistle almost all the time, especially like
Yeah.
especially the stars are getting the whistle, and where sometimes it's like you could play through that dog like that. I don't know if that's really a foul, but
Yeah.
they have that emphasis, and I think that's dope, especially like in a league like yours or the NBL or whatever. Like physical basketball is fun, and I think that's what brings a lot of eyes to the sport too. People really enjoy like
Yeah.
physicality.
Yeah. Nobody wants no. Like yeah, people like to see scoring, but nobody wants to watch somebody shoot like 25 free throws. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's boring. No, nobody wants to watch that, but
Mm-hmm.
people do want to watch a dogfight. A dogfight's always the best basketball to watch. Like, and they're the best ones to play. And
Yes.
like dogfights are the funnest games to play. And the games where the refs literally have the whistle in their mouth the entire game. Those games aren't fun, man. Like, it's like you. Is it your game, Mister Ref, or is it ours? Like, are you playing or am I?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I hate that when the refs have to they want to have their stamp on the game or impact on the game, whereas they're always gonna have an impact, I guess, but
Yeah,
like they don't have to make their presence felt all the time. You know?
yeah. Like, you just officiate the game. Do your job. You don't have to. You're not gonna get MVP for this, bro. You're not gonna
Right.
get offensive player of the game for blowing your whistle 100 times. Like, yeah, I understand some stuff you can't let go, but there's some stuff you just gotta let it slide. Like, let's hoop. Like, we're here to play
Yep.
basketball, fam.
Egos, man. Egos. I don't
For
even want
sure.
to get started. UP, my old college, I feel like they got done dirty this past weekend,
Yeah,
so I'm already all amped up on that, man. But
yeah,
um,
it's sick.
so what are you doing like when you're not playing ball and stuff? Like, what are some things you found over there that are dope? Like, what's Portugal like as like a country? Like, what are the people like?
Yeah,
How's that been?
you know what, bro? I'm not gonna lie. When I first got out here, you can ask like literally any of my family. I hated it.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. It was unfamiliar. But I got my head out of my ass and stopped being an American, and I was like, yeah, I was like, let me be Portuguese. Like, let me see what these cats are up to out here. Let me really experience it. Like, let me get out of my room and start being friendly with folks, and stop just stop just because at the end of the day, I'm more than a basketball player. So let me do more than just basketball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So, going out and seeing it and walking around and talking to the people and bro, it's really chill out here. It's really safe. I've grown to really love this place, bro. Like, cause the people here, they have their stereotypes about Americans, but like, we obviously have our stereotypes about everybody else, bro.
Right.
And so once you kind of get past that surface level and start to get to know people, it's really enchanting, like for lack of a better word, bro. It's an enchanting ass country, bro. Like, there's a bunch of history. You can walk everywhere. You don't need a car out here. You get fresh food, you get fresh fruits. You can pick an orange off of a tree and eat it. Like, it's really,
Mm.
it's so much, it's kind of
Mm.
like it's like modern America, you know, they got a lot of things that are similar to America, but it's got its own intrigue to it that is, you know, like I wouldn't mind staying out here, you know, playing a few more years out here, you know, getting a couple more years under my belt out here because it's one of them countries like it's so chill, it's so safe, bro. Like, you know, in America, like they joke about how like America's like the Wild West and we got people dying and killing each other over nothing, and it's true. You know,
Yeah.
you have that in America, and even just anybody. Like if you're not, you know, keeping a head on your shoulder, you know, always looking back like that, bro. Like you, like you don't have to do that here, bro. Like you don't have to look around. Like nobody's out here to really hurt you. Like they really be in their own space. They chill. Like nobody wants to hurt you. Nobody wants to rob you. You know, they don't have guns. Like it's they're really calm, and you know, like it's like that's what I love about it. Like I don't have to keep looking over my shoulder for something, bro. Like I can just be, and I
Right.
can go to a park and read a book. I can, you know, sit out at a cafe. Like I don't even drink coffee. I don't like coffee. I'm not a big coffee guy, but the coffee here is fucking amazing. So I go to a cafe and get some coffee. Like
Yep.
sit down and have some coffee, bro. And it's just nice to sit back and chill. It's one of them countries where like if you wanna read a book in a cafe and you know have some orange juice, like this is one of them countries you do that at, bro.
Yep.
I really do love it out here, bro. For real.
That's dope. That's dope. That's something I've never gone overseas or anything like that. I want to, but I was talking with my girl. I was like, it'd be cool just to go experience something like that because, like you said,
Yeah.
like they probably take a lot of pride in their history. They take a lot of pride in their culture, and it's like instilled within everything they probably do. And then like
Oh
to go
yeah.
to a place like that where everything's fresh, you got the markets and things like that. You feel safe. Like that's dope. That's dope. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear that what they think about us because I've had I had some overseas teammates and like yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
crazy, but yeah, it's that perspective of us is probably very interesting. And
Yeah, bro. You should definitely if you get the chance, bro, like get out of the country for a little bit, man. If not for a few days, you know, get out of the country
bro, I
because
want to go
like
to
it's different.
Japan. I want to go to
Man,
Japan, bro.
me too, dog. Me too, dog.
Oh,
I'm in that shit's amazing. I love watching videos about Japan. Like I just want to go check it out, like see what the hell they got going on, you know?
dude, Japan just looks beautiful. Go spend a little time in Tokyo. Maybe go to like the little back country areas. Kind of walk, like, bro.
Yeah,
It's beautiful, and like everyone that I've like heard and talked to that have gone there, or even like reviews of people like talking about their experience online, they say it's just amazing. Like, do you watch UFC at all?
yeah,
Yeah, Max
oh yeah,
Holloway. He goes there
yeah,
all the time. He's like, I just love it
yeah,
out there. Like, we'll just take off and just go kick it. Like, it's dope.
yeah. I would love to go to Japan. I definitely want to check out that side of the world. I've always had like an intrigue with like Chinese and Japanese culture. Like
Mm-hmm.
ever since I was a kid, maybe that's probably the Dragon Ball Z talking for sure. But
Right.
I've always had like those cultural influences in my life, and I really want to go see what you know, just see how they live and just see the cultural norms and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like you know, I want to go to like a Japanese bathhouse, bro. Like where they have them spas, them
Yep.
saunas. Like that shit would be dope. Like go get me some noodles or something.
Yeah, bro. Don't get me started, man. And I was watching a thing too, like Japanese schools. Um, they don't like really start learning until like fifth, fourth grade. But
Yeah,
they like really, and that's what I was talking about. Like the culture is so embedded in like what they've done for thousands of years, hundreds of years. Like those primary years from like maybe like what do you go to school like sixth to fifth grades, maybe you're like 10, 11. So maybe like
yeah,
6 through 9. They're really just like developing like discipline. They really have emphasis on discipline, like teamwork. I guess in some of the schools in Japan they don't have janitors, and like the kids kind of have a responsibility to like maintain their space. And so if there's
yeah.
like a
That's
mess,
dope.
like they take care of it and they work on, they take a lot of naps and like, because bro, so hear me out. Like I work in a school over here, and like you have like these sixth grade, like these 6 year olds who are like 5 year olds who are in kindergarten. Like their whole
Yeah,
life they took naps throughout the day, which is really good for like neurodevelop, like brain
yeah,
development, all that kind of stuff. Then you get put into a school. You're like, all right, you got to chill here for 8 hours. You don't get your naps.
yeah,
You gotta learn all this really hard stuff. And maybe I'd think like, are kids really ready for that at that age, where we could be focusing on like being able to be in touch with yourself emotionally, culturally, and spiritually. Learn kind of discipline skills, how to respect elders, how to do those kinds of things. And then once those things are pretty strong, I feel like you're in a way better spot to learn, and even at a more rapid rate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%, bro. Actually, I agree with you 100%. Because I did hear something. I think I seen that on Instagram or something. Like they just spend a lot of time developing the young child's mind. Like they don't start learning stuff like you said until like fifth grade. And like
Mm-hmm.
really like you honestly hit the nail on the head, bro. Like you can't expect a child who is going to be a child to sit down in a classroom for 8 hours, bro, and just learn. Like you're just throwing information at them that they don't even understand. Like that's why so many people think these kids have learning disabilities and stuff. Like no, like it's hard. That shit is hard. Like I had trouble in school at a young age just because I couldn't sit still. Like I couldn't shut up. Like
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
couldn't shut up. And you want me to sit here for 8 hours? Like, man, it's that school to 9 to 5 pipeline, bro. That's what they want. They don't want you to learn, man.
Yeah, man, it's interesting for sure. Cause I was the same way. Like I was not. I wanted to talk. It was hard to
Hell yeah.
focus. All those kinds of things, man. And were all those other parts of you, like like yourself, like for me specifically, like maybe I wasn't in a place to be really ready to learn yet. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And because I was never the smartest ever, like the smartest kid in my class. I was really good at sports because it was very active. I was always
Yeah.
active. I was moving and things like that, and I was smart in that way. Like I was always kind of street smart, or like
Yeah.
common sense smart, but like book smart, I could never say I was really book smart. And that's kind of
Yeah.
why I went down like the psychology path, like in college, because I was just like, math ain't really for me, science isn't really for me, but I really like learning about
Yeah.
like the mind and behavior and things like that, because it was something that I was interested in. But like you said, the school like 9 to 5 pipeline, and it's weird how we do everything over here, man, because
Mhm.
you're forced to go from when you're like kindergarten through K-12. And if you don't do that, you're going to be working. They say you work at a McDonald's or something. It's very rare you find people. There's people who do it all the time, like Elon Musk and those kinds of people.
Yeah.
But like, it is like a little pipeline, because it whittles out a lot of people, and they're going to go,
Mhm.
their chances are kind of doomed unless you get a GED. But like other countries, um, what is it? Germany. I took a German class. Like I think at 16, 15, you kind of like figure out what you're going to do. Like, all right, if you want to work trades,
Yeah.
we're going to put you in a trade school. You're at like 15, 16. So you're going to be
Damn.
ready in like 2 years to do trades, which is great. That's a lot of money. If you want to be a
Yeah.
doctor, you have to meet specific qualifications with your testing, but we're going to we're going to hot route you on this route. And it works out for them. You know what I mean? It puts
Yeah.
people in places where they're going to succeed.
Yeah. I like that though. Like I think that's you gotta play to the kid's strengths. Like you said, kid some kids just aren't good at math, bro. Some kids aren't good at science. And like shit, I never wanted to be a mathematician as a kid. I never wanted to be a scientist as a kid, bro. But I would have loved to learn about more about carpentry, like
Right.
or shop. Like
Build your own
just stuff
house.
like that, bro. Yeah, like I would have loved to have learned about actual stuff like that I was interested in. Like I was never really into like I would like maybe give me a basis on certain shit, like give me a basis so I can know about it. But like,
Right.
I'm not gonna really want to be a physicist later on. So like why are you shoving this down my throat? Like I don't like if I'm bad at it, like and if you fail, if you fail in school and you're failing and shit, like in America, like you said, you don't fit that and you fall out, like you said, you have your exceptions that of people that, came to success falling out of school, but it's like how much harder will it be for you if you do that, It'll like you said, it's almost impossible, bro. Like you kind of have to follow this that pipeline, that route that they established for you as a kid. And everybody learns the same things, and sometimes for me the same things aren't meant for everybody, like
Right.
like you said, like I don't like certain shit that you probably don't like certain shit, and it's like, why don't we just play to these kids' strengths? Like if your kid wants to go to trade school at 15, give them the skills and necessary knowledge to take that trade and have him be successful and have him get into his trade around 18 or 19 instead of
Right.
having him go to college and get a degree that he doesn't even want.
Right, bro. And like you said, teach me the basics. Let me know how to balance my checkbook. Let me know how to save my bread and budget. Give me the basics on how my body works and what's good for me, what's bad for me, what's good and bad for the environment, whatever else. And then like let us choose what we really kind of like fuck with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in high school, we only had like 2 psychology classes. How about you put it more psychology classes for people who are interested in that, or like not forcing us to do biology, bro. I remember biology my sophomore year. It was terrible for me, man. I was not good, and for one, it just wasn't interesting. But it was like when you don't see the relevance in your life or how you're gonna use that, it's really hard. You know?
Yeah, and it's really hard when you don't want to learn something. You're not gonna retain it. Like you're not gonna retain it. Like for example, like my brother. Like I'll take my older brother for example. Like I love him to death, but like school just wasn't his. It wasn't his thing, dog. Like, but I'll tell you what he could do. He can draw his ass off. Like he can draw his ass off. Like if I tell him just sit here and like draw my skyline for detail, he will do it. And like that's his strength. So like give him the facilities, give him the facility and the access to pursue this art. Like, yeah, like I think, and I'm trying to think, where did I hear this from? But there is like you said in Germany, there are certain pipelines for certain kids. Like some kids want to take STEM. Some kids want to go through a business. Some kids want to go through like mechanical pipelines or art or music, like stuff like that. And I think that should start earlier, maybe in like high school. Like, get these kids ready for what they want to do. Like, yeah, let's establish the basics, elementary, middle school. But then once high school hits, let's put these kids where they want to learn, what they want to learn, and put them through that. Because then I feel like you'll have I wouldn't say a better attrition rate, a smaller attrition rate.
Yeah.
A smaller attrition rate of kids dropping out of high school, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, put them where they're going to succeed. And it's just interesting because, like, this is how it's always been over here, and it worked. But I think the world we live in now is just completely different. It's completely different.
100%.
And, like, to bring it back to basketball, you've seen how basketball's changed so much now, too. You don't got to go to college anymore to play ball pro. Like, you could take the Jalen Green route. You could take the LaMelo route. You know, you could go somewhere else and then come back over. Just wondering when everything else will adapt. You know what I mean? Yeah, I always thought that was interesting, and like Japan's so dope, and that's what kind of got me thinking. I was like, I wonder what would happen if we did that with our kids. But it made me think too, like, what is America's culture? Like, it's like hard work, blue collar, things like that. But like, think about it, bro. The culture over here, if we really stayed with the culture of the region, it's Native American culture. And what'd they do to that? What'd they do to that? You know what I mean?
Shit on it.
Yeah, exactly. They made it almost non-existent or put it in very small spaces where it's hard to expand, Because like Japan, they've had their culture for so long. It's been there forever, We're a bunch, like this is native land. But like I said, what they did to natives. They basically decimated the whole culture and everything. Like it sucks to know that like native kids don't have their language. Like a lot of kids don't understand their language. Like for us, like I know in like Browning and stuff, they have language classes and like they learn that way, which is dope. Like that's how it needs to be. That's where this whole thing starts to expand and blossom. But for like kids like us who have like native roots, you come up in an urban setting, Great Falls, for example. They had nothing like that to really foster our culture. You kind of had to assimilate to what was around you.
Yeah. I can say this now though, like they are doing a lot better job. It's more of like a call to action, almost like a state of emergency for our culture, bro. Like you'll see, at Great Falls High, especially at Paris Gibson, the alternative school, because my sister graduated from there. They're doing a lot of cultural revitalization.
Yep.
Just to keep the culture alive. And I like seeing that, but I hate that it had to come to this for that to happen. Like basically on the brink of extinction. Nobody really knows the language. Nobody really follows the culture anymore. That sucks. It sucks, bro. And we don't really have the resources that, well, even now, we really don't have the resources. They're trying, but it's like not the same as it used to be. Like maybe like when our grandparents were around. Like my grandpa spoke fluent Cree. My mom speaks Cree. But like, you come to me and my brother, we don't speak a lick. Like, we don't speak shit. And that sucks.
Yeah, man. And then Great Falls is dope because they do things like that. I can't speak for like other areas, but like, yeah, Great Falls, like, especially like they've always had like Native American things. Like, we'll have a powwow, or then they'll have like, come after school and we could do something. But my last year, they started to really expand that, and that was dope. And that's where you get a lot of kids become very prideful of who they are. They find people who think alike or are alike, and they get to make those connections. And that's dope, and that is really dope. But it is hard for like you said, it's just not enough. And I wish I don't know what the answer would be, but I wish there was something, for especially those, because I really feel for, natives who don't live on the res, and they're kind of in that white society, and and then there's nothing wrong with white society or anything like that. It is what it is. It's just not the same. Like completely different looks on life, completely different values, things like that. And I just wish it was fostered younger, and it was something like implemented and embedded within like a school setting. Like Native kids could have opportunities to go into like this classroom during maybe these lessons, and they can learn instead of learning European history, maybe they can go learn their history.
Let's
shit like that.
Let's learn about us. Like, like you said before, they got these rich ass cultures over here. They've been around hundreds, some of them thousands of years, and they keep their culture alive. Like especially Japan. We were talking about them. They keep their culture alive, and it's like our culture. They basically decimated it, and now it's just kind of leaving it to the wind, bro. But like, playing. So one thing I can say is when I was playing in Minnesota, I went to a couple native tournaments, bro, and played in them. And they're doing so they're in like elementary schools and high schools. They're doing a really good job at keeping their culture alive in Minnesota, bro.
Good.
Like way better than Montana. Like you walk into a elementary school on a reservation in Minnesota, and it's like everything is in their language. Everything is in their language. Like, and it's like, damn, like, what does that say? And their stop signs will be in that language, and it's like they're doing what they can to keep their language alive. And you'll see little kids running around speaking their language, not even knowing English. Like I didn't know that was still a thing, but it is, and we don't really have that in Montana.
Yeah,
so that's dope.
Yeah, that's elite, man. Especially when you like if they're like signs and everything, they have to interpret it in their own way. That's so dope, and that's what it.
Yeah,
that's sick. I know my Uncle Donnie's done a lot of work, and not just him, but a lot of people have done a lot of work on the res. And there's a lot of cool things that I hear. It's like, dang, I wish I got to experience that or like have that opportunity,
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, man, where I wish it could be something like that,
Yeah.
Or I don't know, man. It's tough because I really wish I could speak. I could say a couple things, but I wish I knew more. And that's probably just like part of it because I want my kids to know,
yeah, I'm in the same boat, bro.
Yeah, man. It's interesting, but bringing it back, it's like that whole culture of like America. What is it? I don't know, man. It's changed a lot. Like priorities have also changed a lot.
Yeah.
But shoot, what do you do?
I just think I think our culture is money, bro. That's and it's sad to say, but that's American culture. It's like
chase a bag.
Like bro, like, and I posted this on my story, bro. I'm reading this book called The Little Prince right here, bro.
Okay.
And it's really dope. And there was a passage in here, and I don't want to mess it up, like just for you know, I don't want to disgrace the book like that because it's a good book. But no, there's a passage in here, and he was talking about, and I can't find it. Damn, I can't find it right now. But he was talking about it's a man. He crashed his plane, and he's talking to the little prince, and he was like, we as adults too often think about the monetary value of things, and that's how we place a value. He was like, if somebody came up to you and was describing a house to you, they said, oh, the house has tea lilies around it and it's painted white and it's this, that, and the third. Would that mean anything to you as an adult? And he was like, no, it wouldn't. But if somebody told you that that house costed $450,000, now it has a value. Now it has a meaning. And you know, that's our culture in America. Like, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, my dad's a really cool person, but okay, how much money does he make? Like, and that's your value right there. Your value is a dollar sign. You know, it's like if your dad isn't making this much amount of money, then he ain't shit. Like, he could be a good person, but like nobody wants to listen to him because he doesn't have anything. So it's like,
gives him status. You know, money gives you status too.
Yeah, it gives you status, and that's kind of where I think we went wrong. Like, I think that's where we went wrong, bro. Because now we place value on money and monetary things instead of like people. You know, like just numbers. Numbers are our thing.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. Now you got my brain rolling. It was Bob Marley, bro. He was like, I don't need money to be rich, basically is what he said. He said, I'm already rich. And like, I love that shit, man. Because like in the field I do, I'll probably never make a crazy bag. And that's just always how my family has been. Like, that's the household I grew up in, the people I was around. Like, we were rich with our love. We were rich with like just our life. You know what I mean? Like, we never had, we never went on vacations. We never did anything but like that never bugged me. Like, my wife's a little different than me. She's like, she likes to have money, and like we all like to have money. But like, I could also live broke. Like, I do things that are expensive. I go golfing. I buy cool shit. But like, if I didn't have the money and I wasn't able to golf, I'd still be all right. In some way, I'd find some other things. You know, I wouldn't be. And like today, like you said, everyone's chasing a bag, man. Like you're seeing young kids now. They're just going out doing stupid. You know, I mean, we all did stupid stuff, but like just to film it so they can go get their likes and so they can become popular on that. And I think that's like the goal now. Which is interesting. I mean, you can make, and I encourage kids to do what they want for sure. I was talking, we had a high schooler come into my elementary and talk, and he was like, yeah, I want to do content creation and things like that. And hell yeah, go do that. But some people sell out, and that's the problem. They'll sell out 100%. for that bag.
100%, bro. And that's just kind of the society that America's established, you know. And that's just it's reward. It's people who've gotten rewarded off of stuff like that, like Supreme Patty, for example.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
Patty, yeah, like just doing dumb shit like that. You know, it gets them paid, and so a little kid sees that, and it's like, okay, let me go ahead and follow suit.
What'd be a joke to him, they take serious.
Yeah, they take serious, and it's like, you know, a kid can't differentiate that, man. Like, he can't differentiate what doing dumb shit is from what he should be doing. You know, when I was a kid, I seen Superman flying, and if I didn't have my mom around, I'd have jumped off the roof, bro. Like, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Like, this is crazy.
No, yeah, that's really is how it is. That's so funny you said that. There was one time, what was it? Was it Dragon Ball Z? It was some show where, maybe it was Naruto. He was sitting like this, and he had his legs crossed, and he was floating in air.
Yeah, that's Dragon Ball Z, bro.
Dragon Ball Z, yeah. And I remember I woke up one day, and I was like, I'm going to do that. And I jumped off my bed, crossed my feet, put my hands up, and I just, boom.
Yeah. Dumb shit.
You know? Because, like, we lit it. What up, D? Thanks for coming through. Because we really grew up watching, like, Spider-Man, Superman, and really believing, like, oh, that there's a Spider-Man in New York, you know?
Yeah.
And you bring it to, like, the TikTok and things like that. Like, because I was like, I can go crawl. I'm going to try and figure out a way I can crawl walls. Yeah. But you show a kid, like, a guy. There's this one dude I found online where he basically goes around and, like, pretends to, like, try and fight people or like just for the likes, right? But then like then you see other kids start following the trend. I don't like that, man. I don't like that.
Nah, I don't
I
like
mean, I don't know.
bro, somebody died. Somebody recently like got shot in America for doing that, bro. Like they like going up and enticing dudes. Like if you entice somebody to fight, like don't be surprised when something bad, terrible comes out of that, bro. Because there's some crazy dudes, and there's just some people you don't want to fuck with, man. Like, come on, bro.
Dude, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Puts kids in a spot. You know, puts you in a spot, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be put in a spot. What up, Cat? Hey, we got Cash Abbott in here.
Oh yeah, what up, Cash?
We got Cash Abbott in here. But yeah, like I said, our culture, it's like fuck, man. Like as a whole, United States, like it is chasing the bag and it's doing whatever you can, and sometimes that's not good.
No, hell no.
Like you heard Cat Williams come out and talk about how some of them cats got their bag, and I'm like, I believe that 100%.
I believe it 100%, bro. I think there's a certain level of fame, and there's a certain level of money that I've heard it before, but I like to call it Satan wages, the devil's wages. You can only get a certain amount of money. Like you get capped out, and you have to do something to get over that cap. And like, bro, you would literally be surprised at how many of those people are willing to go over that just to get that bag. Like it's like, all right, bro, that's you. Like you go ahead, do you. I can't even say I respect it. I can't even say I respect it because I don't.
You don't respect that. Nah, bro.
Yeah, I don't respect that at all. Like
nah.
It's just like, damn, dog. Like I really feel bad. Like I feel bad.
Because they're money hungry, they're fame hungry. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it. And like that was the crazy thing. Like Cat came out, and the best thing, he's like, I have the receipts. That's why I can say this stuff. Because you've seen like when it's interesting, especially with artists, bro. Like when you see a guy come up and he's hungry and his music's just fire, the lyrics are on point. But once they get that deal, they sign somebody, the whole thing flips. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing flips. In my opinion, sometimes like. It's like this ain't the same cat that was coming up. You know what I mean?
Trust me, dog. All of that whole realm. Trust me, I'm tapped into that. Like I could talk about that for hours and hours and hours, and how deep this shit really goes. Because it goes a lot deeper than what people think. And you see guys that are hungry, and they get to a certain level where it just seems like they're pushing an agenda, or it just seems like that's not even the same dude no more. Like it's just like, damn, bro, like. You weren't even talking about this before, like, and now it's like, now you doing this, like, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but like, you were just talking about this, and now you're wearing a dress, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like, if you're gonna wear a dress, that's cool, bro, but that's not even you. That wasn't even something that you were doing before, and now you're doing it. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what's your purpose? What are you doing?
Yeah, and I feel like everyone at some point in their life is maybe sold out. If it was to get a girl or hang out with somebody, but I think at some point you check in with yourself and say, yeah, dog, that ain't me. You know what I mean? But some of these some of these cats we're talking about, man, like you said, you can't even respect it. You're just like, damn, you really sold out and made yourself look like an idiot just to get into these parties or getting with these people. Like, it's really insane.
Like just to go hang out with Diddy. You did that just to go hang out with Diddy, bro.
We can go on that whole Diddy thing, man. That's crazy. And it's funny because people have been talking about it for a while, but it's kind of been suppressed. But now it's coming to light. Like that whole Diddy Meek Mill Usher thing. And even before that, it was like the whole, like, I saw 50 Cent on, The Breakfast Club or something like that with Charlemagne. Is that The Breakfast Club?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about how Diddy talks. He's like, bro, he'd be saying some stuff. You kind of got to check him. And he'll be saying it in ways like if you're not really thinking about what he's saying, it might just go over your head.
Yeah. Like, man, like I watched a couple interviews, and I remember I was watching this interview, and I forget what they were doing, but they were all drinking. And I forget who he was talking. Fabulous. Fabulous was Fabulous. It was, and they were talking, and and Diddy was like, "How come you never want to come party with me, Daddy?" And I was like, I watched it, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Why would he say that?"
Yeah.
Like, why the hell would he say that? and you can see in Diddy's face, he's dead ass. He's looking him in his soul like he wants him, and it's like, bro, like, and that's honestly like I would say that's just the majority of the people that a lot of people look up to. A lot of people idolize, dog. Like,
yep.
You know, there's shit going on behind the scenes that we will never truly comprehend. We don't know why. We don't know where, when, but like that shit is happening. And I just feel like the people that choose to ignore it are just part of the problem, bro. Like,
it's got to be
they're
exposed.
gonna keep doing that because it has to be exposed. Like, and that's why I like. That's the one thing I do like about social media, dog. Like people can do their own research and people can piece together shit. And now that shit's starting to come to light, it's like, you know, you got people scrambling. Like Meek Mill was on Twitter. Like, I don't know if you go on Twitter as much anymore, but Meek Mill's on Twitter tripping, like just tweeting all this shit. And I'm like, dog, like you just making it look worse for yourself, bro. Like,
bro,
you making it look way worse for yourself.
Way worse. And it was all what Cat Williams was talking about, man. And like just to hear like that ritualistic stuff, like of like these elite people who own these big businesses is like, this is kind of crazy. But I saw this diagram where it was like a tower down, and it was the people holding up the tower.
Yeah.
And it was like the very top is like the world elite, and like believe it or not, and call this conspiracy, I don't know, but believe it or not, like at the top they control everything, and then they like place government, and like government controls what's under that, and then under government's like, or maybe it was big businesses and then government, because then they kind of manipulate how government kind of works. And then they had entertainment, and basically entertainment's there just to distract and to kind of keep your eyes away from what's going on. And then you have everyone else holding all those things up because all the burden's put on us, you know. And when you got people out there acting a fool like that, like I said, kids see that. Like I see kids doing stuff in the schools, and I'd be calling them out, not in like a mean way. I'm like, why would you do something like that? Like, you think that's cool? You know, and especially like our 4th and 5th graders. It's crazy to see like, what up, Randy? Thanks for coming through. It's crazy to see those, like how different ages work. I think kind of when you get into that, maybe 3rd a little bit, but like, I'd say more like 4 or 5. Like they're really, they just navigate and do things a little differently. They're a little more, into the TikTok, and so they start doing things like that, like, dress in a certain way. Yeah, like they absorb like media a lot more. You know what I mean? They absorb it differently than maybe like a 3rd grader. Like 3rd graders, they'll go out and play soccer, and it's like the damn World Cup out there. Like that's the only thing they care about. But then you got like the older kids. You see that like that year flip. You got those older kids. And they're trying to look like someone, or they're trying to talk or use certain slang. It's interesting.
No, that's crazy, bro. Actually.
Yeah, but anyways, kind of went on a little tangent on that. But so you got like about a month left, right? You got about a month left over there, and what are you playoff picture, or what does that kind of look like, or how does that work?
Nah, so like we done lost too many games, bro. So like we don't even get that opportunity. Had we like been like top 2 or 3 in our league, we would have had that opportunity to go win something. But we lost too many games, so now we're just basically fighting to stay in the same league. You know, we're not gonna win anything, we're not gonna lose anything, but you know, we just got to keep winning at this point to stay in this league.
So if you're top 2 or 3, do you play like another league, or how does that work?
Hell yeah. Yeah, so like the top 2, 3 teams from this league are gonna play against the top 2 or 3 teams from the South League. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it's like an Eastern Western Conference type thing.
Yeah. And they'll play each other, and then I think like the top 2 or 3 from there will go up, and they'll play like the first league division teams or some shit, or they get promoted or something like that. But yeah, that's how that works out.
Okay. Yeah, that's so interesting, man. And it's hard to navigate those overseas websites. I'd be trying to check UNZ out sometime, and the language thing on there is tough.
It's hard.
But what was I going to say? So this is the part of it too, man. ADHD. I always be forgetting what I'm about to say. It can't hold that short term. That short-term memory's trash.
Oh, no, that's all good, bro.
Um, but you're enjoying it though. How did the fans embrace you? What is it like interacting with the fans, and like do you do a lot of like community work, or like go out and like, you know, put on little clinics for kids
Mm,
and stuff?
yeah, not so much this year. We're not here. Um, I
Oh,
forgot
hold on. I
the
think we lost you for a sec.
man. Like you like our first game. Uh,
All right, I got you back. I got you back.
you got me.
Yep.
Yeah, man. The fans are insane though. They they love they love basketball, but they love good basketball players, and
Mm-hmm.
how they embrace me. Like I interact with the crowd, bro. Like I love it. I when I talk shit, like I rarely ever talk shit to a player because I know what it's like to be a player out there and how hard it is. So like
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk shit to the players. I'll talk shit to the crowd, or I'll interact with our crowd if they're friendly. And
Mm-hmm.
like they're just so vibrant and so lit all the time. Like they'll pack the gym out and bring drums, boom, 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 and after the game, they'll come and want me to autograph shirts. They'll want me to autograph like their forearm or their shoe or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, bro. And just having that, like, just being embraced by people like that is a really good feeling, dog. Like, it's like they don't, you know, how like in America people would be like, "Oh, you dick riding? Why are you doing that? You dick riding?"
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they don't do that. They don't believe in that out here. They don't do that. Like if you're good at something, like they're gonna let you know that you're good at it. Like man,
Mm-hmm.
they don't care. They're not gonna have no shame about it, and that rubbed off on me. That's rubbed off on me in literally the best way. Because when I see something now, bro, I respect it 100%. Doesn't matter what it is. If somebody's like I'm not good at skateboarding, bro, but I love watching skateboarding videos. Like
Yep.
I love that shit because I know how hard that shit. I know how hard that shit could be, bro.
For
I know
real.
how hard it is. Like so when I see somebody doing something that they love and they're really good at it, bro, like yeah, for sure. Like I'm gonna tell you good, and I'm gonna tell everybody like, oh yeah, you good as fuck. Like you nice as
Yep.
hell at this. Like so yeah, it's dope. The culture out here, the fans are amazing.
Yeah, a lot of jealousy over here a lot of times too. I do
Hell yeah.
think dudes dick ride, and I be calling them out, especially LeBron fans. And I got no disrespect against LeBron. It's just sometimes people be saying some stuff. I'm like, come
Hell yeah,
on,
hell yeah.
come on. But yeah, what kind of popped in my head when I heard you talking about that is like, how does that feel signing autographs for kids? Because you were like once that kid, and you wanted maybe like a LeBron autograph,
Hell
but
yeah.
now you're that guy able to like make that little impact, and they'll always have that signature for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. That's such a good feeling, fam. Like, I because I can vividly remember being in that spot. I can remember you remember when we had a team in Great Falls called the Voyagers, I think it was,
Explorers,
or the basketball team, the Explorers, the basketball team.
yeah,
Bro, I can remember sitting in the stands, even the Rocky Boy Stars. Even the Rocky Boy Stars. I just being at the
yep,
Four Seasons Arena and watching people play basketball, bro, and seeing them, I'm like, damn, like they're so cool. And even just them coming up to me and like saying hi or just giving me a high five was the coolest shit in the world. And so being able to be in that position now is like, I honestly, bro, sometimes I try not to cry when I'm
mm-hmm.
doing it. It's like I'm like, this is cool. I'm glad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's dope. It's a dope ass feeling.
I remember it's like you were saying you liked watching the Rocky Boy Stars. It was like I remember when I watched the Browning Indians play. They played at CMR, and I think it was the champion. I think it was divisional championships. Forget who they played, but they had like DJ Fish and all these studs out there, and just watching them, I
Yeah.
was just like
Hell yeah.
entranced. And they went down and they like held up the divisional trophy. It wasn't state,
Mm-hmm.
no, it was divisionals, but they're holding up that divisional trophy in front of the people, and people were like war crying, and like people were
Mm-hmm.
just, it was dope. And I remember they let me hold the trophy. He brought it down. DJ Fish brought it down and let me hold that trophy. And it's like looking up to these guys who were really like 18, 17 years old, man. It was just like
Yeah.
they were like NBA players to me, you know? It's dope.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And that's why it's so dope. Like, and you even now, like we're talking about, it, like you remember that, like so, like
Mhm.
I hope these kids can look back, and like 10, 15 years from now and say like, I remember when he signed this autograph from here. He let me sit up on his shoulders and he paraded me around the gym after the game. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I I truly hope kids remember that and they can spread that kindness to another child someday. To a kid
Facts.
that was in their position.
Yep. You're like their LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like, it's dope. It's really dope. So cool. So you come back in a month. What is your plans, kind of, when you get back over this way?
I'm not too sure, bro. I'm talking with a few agents right now. Trying to stay hooping, trying to keep hooping. I was been talking to Coach JC lately,
Mhm.
talking about coming playing in the falls for a little bit for that shoulder season. So, we'll see. If not that, might end up Central or South America for a little bit. Like I said,
Mm.
the plans aren't really set in stone. But I do have a few options that I've been looking into, and I'm just kind of in the negotiation portion of things, and working out the numbers and logistics of things. But yeah, I gotta come back, see my cousin graduate. Both of them graduate, so I'll be in Great Falls for a little bit,
Okay.
and then just from there, get ready for next season. Honestly,
Yep. Get ready, stay locked in. That's cool. So there is opportunities to play overseas. I mean, like pro ball, like South Central America during the summer. Then, huh?
hell yeah, them seasons they like either started right now or they'll start in like a month, and they'll run all summer. Um, so yeah, that's the goal. That's what I want to do because I just want to establish my resume and like I got my rookie year out of the way. Now I just need to establish it and let people know, like, yeah, I'm here. Like, this is what I do.
Yep.
So I just kind of want to keep hooping. I don't really want to take a break. Honestly, I'm young, so I want to use my body to the fullest of its potential right now.
Yep. Take advantage, man. Stay hungry. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
dope. South and Central America would also be sick. I would like to go check out those
yeah,
areas of
yeah,
the world too, man. Argentina, Brazil, when you
hell yeah.
got Puerto Rico down there, like those would all be cool. I think I actually had a teammate go play in Puerto Rico. Um,
Oh, for
but
real?
yeah, then you got that shoulder season in Great Falls. Sounds like you got options, and that's good. That's good, man. And it's all like the whole thing too, man. You're making connections, you're meeting people, you're getting your
Yeah,
name out there. Like that's the best thing you can do. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Eventually, I want to take all this. I eventually want to coach, bro.
hell yeah,
I want to I want to I want to start my own AAU team eventually in Montana, bro. That's kind of
hell
like
yeah.
my one of my long term goals because, like you said, I've been making connections and I know people now, and I kind of want to be a bridge. I want to send kids to school, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
want native kids to go get an education, bro. I want them to get seen. There's some badass ball players that'll just never do anything with basketball after high school because they don't have the opportunity. So if
Mm-hmm.
I can take the doors that I open, if I can give them the keys to those doors, then I'll do whatever I can to do that.
Yep. And they're not only just fighting um the opportunities, they're also fighting the stigma. You know what I mean?
Hell
Of
yeah,
being like a native kid. Like they always say, "Oh, they're gonna go back home," or "They're not gonna make it," or things like that. And it's like, you know what? I was thinking the same thing, bro. I was like, I would love to like create like an AAU circuit or something just specifically for native kids. Recruit native coaches
mm,
to run teams, and just play
hell
native
yeah,
ball. Like instead of having like maybe one kid in like a whole AAU program. How about you make a whole program from? Because they all hoop and they would
hell yeah,
kill. And because
hell yeah,
basketball, it's different. You ain't got much going on the res, man. And it's ball. That's what's going on. It's
yeah.
God.
We hoop,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
we hoop, bro.
absolutely God. Um, Before we get you out of here, bro, talk a little bit to like how did like your native culture, native roots really like influence you throughout your life? You know what I
Oh
mean?
man,
Talk a little bit to
yeah,
that
no,
because I think that's a great thing, especially for like native hoopers to hear.
yeah, no, dog. It's huge. I literally like it's huge. Like I wear that shit like a badge of honor. Like everything I do, bro. I keep my beadwork on me all the time, bro. I got
Mm,
my little parkas on me, bro. I keep
mm,
like my native culture is so huge, bro. Like, cause that's what I grew up with, bro. Like that's what I knew my whole life. Like I'm half black. But if we're being honest, growing up, I didn't really see myself as black. Like I seen myself as a badass res kid. I was seeing myself as a little native kid. So, you know, that culture, we have a really tough culture, bro. We have a really tough culture, but it forces us to be strong and really headstrong in things. You know, like with alcoholism and drugs, just kind of ruining everything around us all the time, bro. Like I wanted people to see me as a beacon, a beacon of hope, if anything, bro. That you don't have to do that. Like,
yep,
there, if you dedicate yourself, because man, like there were plenty of room for me to just fuck up. There was plenty of room for me to go do this or go do that. But like I was like, man, let me try to inspire somebody. Like and that inspires me, bro. I was like, let me try to see if I can bring people along with me on this journey and show them like it's possible, dog. Like, like, and just being in that headspace of, seeing all this shit happen, constantly grieving, constantly going through something like that has helped me with basketball. Cause there have been hella times, bro, when I just wanted to just give up and say, fuck it. Like, I don't even want to do this shit no more, bro. Like, but like, then what would that say to everybody else that's going hard right now? Like that it's okay to stop, that it's okay to give up. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like a lot of things I do right now are for native culture, bro. Like, like I know from Rocky Boy, there may have been like one other dude that went overseas, maybe, I think. And I'm not sure, bro, but like I know I'm like one of the guys. I'm one of them guys from my reservation that's really doing some shit. And I know when I go back, I can speak to the youth and let them know like this shit's possible, dog. Like you just gotta lock in, and with all this bullshit that's going around us and with these stigmas surrounding us, you gotta let that fire, you gotta let that light a fire under your ass, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta prove, you got a lot of people to prove wrong. You gotta prove yourself wrong, because man, like I said, there were times I didn't even believe in myself for real, bro. But like just having like you said, I wasn't rich, but I was rich in love. I had a lot of love around me. I had a loving family around me. So having that support system was able to keep me going, and just having that tight knit community, having my aunties and my uncles, my mom, my dad and shit, just push me to want to be better every single day. That's been a blessing, bro. But yeah, like every chance I get, like that, I'm excited. Now you kind of got me hyped. You kind of got me excited now, bro. Because I love talking about my culture, bro. Because like not a lot of people know about it, and I love telling people I'm native, bro. I love telling people, let's go to a powwow. Let me show you something. Let me show you how we're living. Let me tell you why we do this. Let me show you why we smudge. Let me show you why a dream catcher works. What it's supposed to be made out of. Like I love doing that. And honestly, bro, I really want to take this basketball shit to as high as a platform as I can. And I want the world to know what the hell is going on reservations, dog. Like I want people to see how we live, and I want people to know what the fuck is going on. Like, yeah, we got some people in there that's not doing too well. But what culture doesn't? What culture doesn't have their people that are failing? And if I could take them people that are failing and uplift them with what I'm doing right now, shit, bro, that's a blessing. That's why God put me here. God put me here to help uplift my people, because I'm not, I'm not Christ, I'm not Jesus. That's not my job, but I can do the best I can to be a reflection of that, and help people see better and want to be better. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted the Brandon the Boy to come on too, because he's from Box Elder, right down the way from Rocky Boy, and he, bro, I don't know if you've been, but that guy, just like you, man, just like a beacon of hope and a beacon of just positivity, of like doing everything the right way.
Yeah.
We all fuck up. We all do our things where we mess up, but it's like, how do you bounce back, and how can you, put your best foot forward to positively make an influence, like you're saying. Like it goes such a long way, and like that responsibility and that pride you take in like how you can make the slightest influence, or like I can't quit right now because what message does that send to my nieces, my nephews, to my little cousins, to their friends? Like it goes a long way. It absolutely goes a long way, because I'm like with you, like my mom's white, my dad was native, but I'm native, I'm also white, but that's just like who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I do this for like the native kids because that's what I grew up around. I grew up in a household where you saw the beadwork everywhere. My cousins were always around. It's just like who we are. That's like who we grew up with. And like you see the struggles that you're talking about within like those communities, like within that our people have to go through. If it's the stigmas or the drugs and alcohol, all that kind of stuff. Like these kids, man, sometimes I don't feel like they understand how powerful they are. And like that's you.
Man,
like you're that staple where they can say, okay, I can do that. You know what I mean?
Try to be, bro.
Yeah. And it's just like I want to uplift it. And that AAU thing, bro, I think that would go so far.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's the goal, bro. And that's one thing I actually wanted to. I was gonna say this at the beginning, but since we're talking about it now, bro, I wanted to give you your flowers, bro, because like what you're doing right now, like shit, keep doing this shit, bro. Keep doing this, because like dog, I know how hard. Literally everything we do gonna be hard, but like I know how hard it is to maintain these videos and keep a rigorous schedule of putting out these podcasts, bro. Like that shit's tough. Like you're taking up hella time out of your day. You got other shit you got to do, but you're also like, bro, you're a teacher. Like you're literally helping kids, bro. Like, and you have your degree. Like you too are that beacon. You know how many kids like from where we're from don't even go to college, dog. Like, and you went to college and played basketball. Like, and you have that experience, and now you can go back to where you're from and tell them like and tell them your experience and show them, bro. Like, and so that's what that shit makes me happy, dog. Like seeing that, like even Brandon the boy, like I wish he was on here so I could give him his flowers too, bro. Because like, man, that shit makes me so happy, and like shit like that keeps me going. It makes me want to just like keep going, because it's that uplifting each other. If we uplift each other, bro, there's literally nothing we can't do. Like we can get to the top, we can be them voices, we can help everybody around us, and make better for others. Like that's our role.
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. That means a lot to me. Because
no problem,
where we come from, it ain't easy, but we persevere. And I think that's why, like, I was going to say this earlier, like, you notice, like, your family and the people that are behind you, like, they ride or die for you. Like, when I go to the Red and I see, friends, family, things like that, I see people I don't even know, but they just give me love. You know what I mean? And and it's dope. And sometimes, like, you lose sight of, like, I don't want to say like how important, but like how much love is out there and how much people are really backing you and like really rooting for us to succeed, But I appreciate that. And yeah, man, I really wanted Brandon on. He's scouting elk. He's just doing his thing, and it's just so admirable, bro, because like it's not easy. It's not easy, and to constantly do the right thing and like what he's doing with those kids out there, man, it's beautiful. And when you come back, there's so many possibilities, man, in the spaces that you've been in, we've been in, he's been in, no matter. There's so many more up there that are doing great things. There's too many to name, but like so many opportunities and so many directions it can go to where a lot of change could be made. And it starts with you and what you're doing now, what we're doing now to shed that influence, it's amazing. Because, yeah, man, I'd love to see a native in the league going crazy. More kids go overseas because they can. Just like how do they get in that space? And it starts with someone like you. You're in that space. You know how to navigate it. And there's been others, but we live in a different world now. So but yeah, brother. I think we'll end it right there, man. I just want to say I appreciate you coming on, dog. I know you're busy. You're halfway around the world. Second time on. I appreciate it, man, and always rooting for you, always checking in, and I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you get to experience that stuff. It's huge. Get to see the world and play basketball. Like, what else could you ask for?
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's a blessing for sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you, real quick, like, do you find any comfort in that Portuguese culture? Like, do you find any similarities between them and, like, native culture?
Hell yeah.
Like community-wise and things like that, you know?
They how like we like to tease and joke and pick and shit like that? Like they do that over here. Like they like to fucking joke around a lot, and I like that because in America sometimes we like to have a stick up our ass, and you can't even joke with some people. But I'm a jokester. I like to mess around. So just being able to do that with people out here and poke fun you know, that it not be any hard feelings. I take comfort in that. That's why I like these people, because, you know, they do remind me of home a little bit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that community piece is so sick. I feel like we lose that community piece over here a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, brother, I appreciate you for coming on. I'm gonna get us out of here, but thank you for the conversation and just thank you for your time. And I can't wait. Hopefully, we can cross paths when you're up in Montana. But I can't wait to see what you do next.
Right on, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure.
Probably gonna have you on again sometime, but I appreciate it. Everyone on Facebook.
Yeah. Hey, you heard me? We have to tell Dana White about Tommy Gun, because there's another big thing coming out of Montana, and I promise is, man, when I watch him fight, bro, I know something crazy gonna happen. So for sure, bro. Montana putting on right now, bro, and it makes me happy, bro, for real.
Yep, Dana, get him in here after this next fight. He gets that strap. You got to get him on there. If it's Contender Series, it's something, man. We need, his last fight, that kid came in, he just caught him. The kid's coming in, and he just caught him with that uppercut, just put him down, bro. Mm-hmm. Absolutely insane. I got to get Tommy Gun back on here too, man, because he's, talk about a dog. But yes, Facebook, everyone on Facebook, appreciate y'all for tuning in. YouTube as well. Jaden Stanley-Williams, appreciate you, brother.